Hey, my name is Alex Glasser from Rockland County, New York. I went to Roberto-Venn in the end of the summer, fall of 2004. After Roberto-Venn, I went to work at Santa Cruz Guitar Company for 2 years, and I also started to work for Jeff Traugott as like a helper, 1 day a week guy. After 2 years, I worked at Gryphon Stringed instruments, and I worked at Gryphon for 5+ years with Frank Ford, Richard Johnson, and a bunch of good guys in the shop. In 2012, I moved back to New York and I opened a shop, Iron Horse Instruments, and this is it. We're in Iron Horse Instruments. Getting the job at Gryphon really changed a lot of things for me in my, I guess, projection and working on guitars. I came out of being able to build an acoustic guitar quite efficiently coming out of Santa Cruz Guitar, but only the certain parts, the certain jobs, that we did every day. But still, was able to build a pretty nice guitar. Came into work at Gryphon and getting a chance to do repair work that I really was interested in doing, learning how to put back and repair guitars after they've been broken, what things break them. Richard Johnson was real helpful at Gryphon. After I worked there for a few years, I started to realize what Richard really was, that he's this encyclopedia of old guitar knowledge, amongst many other things. But the longer I worked there, the more I got interested in these old guitars and was able to go to Richard and ask Richard questions and learn all these things from Richard, and also really learn how cool Richard is as a person. And the same thing with Frank, as I worked with Frank longer and saw how Frank interacts with people and why people really like the both of them, it was a real good experience. Frank's real big on wanting to teach people things. It's like a big thing. You can tell, being around Frank, that he's like that. He wants to show guys how to do stuff. He wants people to learn from his mistakes and from the things he's done that's good. So it's like a crash course if you want to learn how to do everything. If you're interested in learning banjos, if you're interested in learning mandolin, neck resets, everything, why stuff breaks, how to fix everything, and how to make the guitar work and play for the player, and how to talk to people. Frank was huge to teach us and kind of help keep our anxieties back about dealing with customers all day. It's difficult to get across to the customer what they need to have their instrument work right, and that job could be $50, that job could be $2,000. It's always a conversation. So that was big with Frank. The other thing big at Gryphon was that Richard, as I started to work there longer and get interested in these old instruments, the more I worked on them, the more I repaired them, the more I saw how they break, realizing that Richard is this encyclopedia on Martins and on older guitars. And so that was really cool and really helpful to have Richard there to read the books Richard wrote and just talk to him about all these old guitars. And it really, really prepared me in lots of ways to be here working for myself, because first it gave me that ability to talk to customers. Not that I'm that great at it, but that I can do it. When I got hired at Gryphon, I got to work on and see how a lot of these acoustic guitars break after for 2 years I was building them. So it was really cool to see a brace pops, how do you fix it? The bridge comes loose, why did it come loose? How do you fix it? How do you get it off? How do you refit it to the top? I knew how to do it on a new guitar. So how do you do a neck reset? Well, I know how to set a neck new, but how do you do it when you have to take it out? How do you get it out? All these things that I was able to learn with Frank and with Brian Michael, who worked at Gryphon too, who was a big help as well. And then another guy, Ben Redwood, who came in a little after me. We all kind of were getting better and learning more. and Jeff Traugott helped me a lot because he did neck resets and he showed me a lot how to get these guitars apart. So at Gryphon, I learned a whole lot of stuff, like all the common jobs, like fixing pickguards, fixing bridges, doing neck resets, resetting them, building new bridges, fixing cracks, fixing loose braces, all these things, cracked headstocks, and doing finish repair over all these things, like the real basic jobs, but that are the bigger repair jobs, the bigger restoration jobs. So after 5 years there, when I wanted to move back home to New York, where I'm from, I felt that I could do these jobs well enough to, you know, offer them and be paid for my job. And I never would have learned it at, like, you know, there's only a few other shops I think that you could get that kind of crash course in 5 years on how to learn how to do them and then learn how to get good at them and start to learn why the guitars break and how to fix them. My techniques have changed a lot since I worked at Gryphon and while I was working at Gryphon, but the whole basis of it is all stuff I learned there, and a lot of the tools are the same tools. I just use them differently. So this drill, I use this drill all the time. It's a benchtop drill, but it's on this table. My dad gave it to me, and I thought I was going to get, you know, like a heavy-duty drill, but it's bolted down, and it's actually really, what's nice is this stool, I'm like right where I need to be.
Oh, yeah.
So by accident, I found I really like it. So this is potassium permanganate. Mamie and Steve from Retrofret years ago showed me this trick. It's just this powder. You just buy it. It's purple. It's like a purple mineral powder, and you just put it with water, and you stir it, and it just makes this watery solution. But it'll stain wood. It like eats at the wood. So for all the spruce that goes in a guitar on a repair, like on a patch, because the insides of all the old guitars don't look like a brand new, like, white piece of spruce. They're yellow, even on the inside. So when you're doing a repair, if you're doing a cleat or a patch of some kind with the spruce, you can put this on it after you make it, and you can like kind of paint it and control the way the wood looks to try to match the color. You can overdo it and make it like, you can like burn it and make it like too brown.
Right.
But you do it a little bit at a time, and it works, and it's quick. It's like, it doesn't slow you down doing the repair.
So it's like you could equate it to the same way some people will age new binding on an old instrument. Like
yeah, but much easier.
But much easier.
Yeah, like way easier. All you have to
stuff.
do is buy that thing. It was like $10. This is it, actually. See how the towel is this weird color?
Yeah.
I just did it with a towel. If it's something quick, I'll just do it. If it's like a big thing, I'll probably like put gloves on and try.
Of course.
But this was just I do a lot of diamond cleats. They're pretty small, so it was just to do a diamond cleat. What you really need to do is coming out of school is be humble about that you need to learn what you need to learn, because we always learn. I'm always learning how to do it. Frank's, who I learned from, is always learning how to do it. Everybody's always learning how to do it. You always get better at your jobs.